Hello everybody, I'm Chan. No fancy introduction or photo shots. I just want to do a little vlog about my training week, and it's meant more for maybe not so new cyclists with some experience and who want to increase their performance, who have between maybe 8 to 10 hours a week. So at the moment I have intention to increase the intensity and mix it up with some distance as well. So today being the first day, it's going to be about just getting your base right, and it can be between 100k, 160k, whatever your time can afford, and best is about 3 hours or so. At least 3 hours, I think that would be a good guide. So actually even new riders shouldn't find it too daunting. I think 3 hours settle time will be fine. Okay, so let's go right to it. Today, just do a long easy ride. By long is 100 lah. Got to start my training proper, prepare for the big selection, hopefully sometime in January 2021. So today is day 1 of the week lah. Usually either I start off with a full gas ride, depending on what I did the last week, but today I just do 100, kind of easy pace, make sure the leg don't burn, no big efforts, and then I try to squeeze in the rest of the week. Also test this camera at the same time now. So Singapore is kind of a small place, so the roads are largely the same. Normally for a big ride I just go around the island, but today I will confine myself to the north of Singapore, Mandai area, Woodlands area. If you live here, you will know there are some lights interruption, but not so many vehicles I hope tonight, so we will see lah. So for me, the number one consideration for any training plan, I guess, would be the discipline. By discipline, I don't mean that you must ride every single day, or you must stick to the plan, like even if you are super tired, because sometimes the training plan is a little bit more than what our fitness is at that point of time, right? Our training is supposed to stretch us a bit, right? So by discipline I mean you ride according to either your power or how you feel on the bike, or a combination of both. So let's say I know that tomorrow I'm going for very hard effort. Today I want to conserve a little bit. So although we are nowhere near the pro in terms of how hard our effort might be, but you know, it's relative, right, to our own fitness. So for today, even though I'm feeling quite good, I will still go easy to make sure that tomorrow I can do what I really want. So discipline also means if a whole bunch comes by you or they are super fast, just leave your ego at home. Do your own ride, because you are training, right? And if you are training for a whole week or a whole month, you got to follow your plan. So you say today you are supposed to go easy and you smash it, and tomorrow is interval day or FTP day, then you end up disrupting your plans, right? So that's what I really mean by discipline. Leave our egos at home, do the ride that you set out to do as far as possible, especially if it's meant to be an easy ride that is a little bit bigger on mileage, so that you have something left. If let's say the next day you got to go real hard or dig real deep. So I just reached the starting point, about 10k from my home, which is the northern part of Singapore. So one loop is about 27k, 30k, and it's largely sort of rolling terrain. It's not super lumpy, but by Singapore standards, you know, it's rolling. So I'll just do a few loops here, just to chalk up maybe 100, 120, just to spin off the legs and see how I do with a new load for this week, because that's my plan. So generally speaking, if you're going to head out for more than 2 hours, I suggest you bring something to eat, depending on how long you're going to spend out there. So for 100k ride, usually I complete in about 3 hours or just over 3 hours. So at the 50k mark, I have something to eat, but I always drink. Usually only water. The rule of thumb from a lot of articles that I've read, both online and in books, is every hour is 1 bottle. If the weather is very hot especially. And then something to eat, whether it's a gel or a bar, you know, you can choose. For me, I haven't had a gel for a long time, so always been eating bars. So the way I gauge my fitness normally is, I know my base is pretty good. If I can complete 100, 150 when my legs don't really ache so much, and maybe zone 2, zone 3 effort throughout, and the average power probably the lower end of zone 3. Yeah, I would say you know that your legs can go the distance more or less. If at the 80k mark, you know your legs have no aches at all, not from intensity, just from pedaling for so long. So I would say, yeah, that should be something to shoot for. If you want to start covering bigger mileage, 80k mark, no aches. 100k should be more or less easy peasy lemon squeezy. I would say also, once you are very used to your base rides and your weekly training load, you can start to introduce your intervals into your long rides, but always bearing in mind what you're going to do tomorrow or the next day, so that you have the leg strength to do it. Now, pretty much the northernmost part of Singapore, near the border of Malaysia. A few more laps to go. So another thing about base rides is they shouldn't really be broken up. So if say you're planning 100, 150, 160k, it should be completed at like one sitting, you know, instead of say doing 50 or 75 in the morning and then 50 or 75 in the night. It should be like one go. Not so much only for your legs to get acclimatized to spending time spinning for such a long period, but also to make sure that the rest of your body, your arms, your bum, your back, can take actually handling that position for extended period of time. So of course, if you go really hard, say at a threshold pace, then you won't last so long. So base rides, do remember that you have a different purpose other than speed. Yeah, it's just to get some miles in the legs. Even though some people call it rubbish miles, I differ, because although I don't have any so-called scientific evidence, I think it works for me. I'll give it a shot. Everything with a pinch of salt. So one of my final tips, or at least one of the final things that I do, is just keep pedaling. No matter how slow the speed, how steep the descent, just keep the legs turning and keep moving forward, you know, never ever stop. And yeah, nearing the end of my ride, another 15k or so, home free. Yeah. Okay, so I'm at the end of my ride as well. Ta-da! I did 3 hours and just a little bit over 3 hours. So again, let me recap. Rule number 1,
make sure that you go easy during your base ride. If you are more advanced, of course you can introduce some intervals or some efforts, but you have to take in, that brings me on to rule number 2. So you have to account for what you intend to do for the whole week. So typically 4 to 5 days of riding, I think you will see some good improvements. And so tomorrow being my so-called FTP day, which is a full gas day, today I take it really easy. And that also brings me to my third point: leave your ego at home. So if you see somebody else on the road, if they are the same pace, that's fine. If they pass you, just let it go and do your own thing. So you can ride to power again, or you can ride to feel if you know your body very well, or both. Yep, both are fine, as long as a general guideline will be there shouldn't be too much intensity, right? And point number 4 is work up to a stage where by the 80th or the 90th kilometer, your legs have no aching feeling and so on, and then you should know that your base is quite solid. That's my opinion anyway. And the last rule would be to keep pedaling. Just keep pedaling, no matter how hard it gets, which actually it really shouldn't get hard. Concentrate on holding your body in the right place. Make sure that your bum, your arms, your back, your neck, and on top of your leg power. Yeah, so everything should be in sync, and to get your body used to sitting in the saddle for a long time. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.